Yeah, why could he be? My first memory of Susie is probably when they moved into our neighborhood. She was the cutest little girl. I just thought she was the most beautiful thing. And I had lost my best friend. She moved away and I needed a best friend. And she just, I don't know why we were really drawn to each other. And it was fun. Our moms both had babies together at the same time, which is strange because they were old women and they had little teeny babies. And so my father was really sick the year my brother was born, so I really had him a lot. And Susie had Billy a lot. And we had fun. Everybody thought we were unwed mothers with our babies, whenever we took them places, and it was really, really fun. I was 16 when my brother was born, so Susie would have been 14, 15. She was a lot younger than me, but it worked out. I don't know why. We had our little brothers together. We had jobs together. We gift wrapped at Cottonwood Mall. We were fantastic gift wrappers. That was our claim to fame, is we could wrap better than anybody. We still have that title. Then she always worked for my parents at the greenhouse. She worked at Cackling Acres, and I'd have to go visit her because we were together constantly. So if we were split, we made our way to each other anyway.
Susie, Daddy.
We would walk everywhere before we got wheels. We would ride bikes. We would walk in the middle of the night, all over the place. When Cindy got her car, her parents gave her a car, I believe, for graduation. We had so much fun because we finally had wheels. All through school, they had this crazy computer date, and she met your dad, and Susie never liked anybody. And then all of a sudden she's in love. And it was like that with Mark. And at that computer day, I went with another guy from East or something. And I could not believe when I saw Susie and Mark together, because it looked like they'd been together forever. They were making out. They were all over each other. It was so funny. It was so funny to see Susie like that. And it was really, really fun. It was really fun to see her and Mark grow together, because I think it was her first and, only, which is awesome. Great story. It's a really great love story. Like I said, we just did everything together. I don't have very many memories without her in them, So it's been hard. I did not have a happy household. I preferred to be a Dietz. And if you ask your grandpa where I was most of the time, it was their house. Friends weren't welcome at my house. So I spent a lot of time with Dietz's and at Clayton's with Mark's family. And the whole group of us, which is Missy and Mike and Ron and Bushy and all the Bryans and all this great big group of kids from our neighborhood, every Friday night and every Sunday night we hung up out at Clayton's house because they had a big family room and they let us be there. And we would watch Nightmare Theater on Friday nights, and we would watch the movie of the week on Sunday night together, and it was just fun. We'd go get food and make food. We'd make cookies and goodies and just have a good time. And it was just a really good neighborhood and a good climate to grow up in. But Susie and I were the core, if you ask me. She and Miss were really close too, because they were right across the street. But yeah, we were all friends. It was a big group. When we were all there was like 20 kids. We'd go to cemeteries and tell scary stories and make each other scream. I remember us wetting our pants several times because we were so scared. But we were just crazy. One of the scary nights that we were at the cemetery, police came, and we were hiding behind headstones and not moving and behind trees and stuff. And she was dying. She was like, Susie was having a cow that she was going to get arrested, scared to death that her parents were going to kill her. We were just telling scary stories, but we weren't supposed to be there. You know, after 10 at night, it's locked up and you're not supposed to be there. So we wandered around all summer long. We'd sleep out and just wander around. I mean, you would not dare have your kids do the things that we did, but we did. We loved ice cream. We'd go up to Skaggs and get ice cream all the time. Like I say, we rode our bikes everywhere. Our favorite treat as we were growing up was Coke and chocolate Dunker Donuts. We'd have a Coke and a Dunker Donut almost every day. Not good for us, but it was so fun. And the best thing is when we got to Skyline, they got a salad bar. And it was the first place, I think, that there was a salad bar. We swear that they created ranch dressing at Skyline. There was no such thing as ranch until Skyline, and they had the best salad bar. We had salad bar every day. We sloughed school one day and pulled the Marks out of school, and Clayton never missed school. He didn't believe he should ever be absent. He had like 100% attendance, which was so silly, but he was proud of that, and he was so afraid his parents would be so disappointed. And we pulled him out of school and went up to the Wagon Wheel in Heber. It was a breakfast place, and Mark was nervous too. Your dad was so scared that he was going to get caught, but we had so much fun. We were naughty, but we weren't that naughty. We weren't shoplifting. I think we were mostly good and kind. I think a lot of people loved us in school. I mean, the yearbook, I tried to find what she wrote in my yearbook, and I only found one year. I think it was when she was a sophomore and I was a junior, that she actually wrote in my yearbook. And one of the lines was, "Why do I have to write in this when we live together?" And that's just how we were. We were comfortable and good and loved the same things. We just had fun together. We practically live together anyway, that's what she said. We should do something in the summer, she says, because we practically live together anyway. So funny. We would stuff everybody in 2 cars. Mark's family had a station wagon, and we would stuff everybody in the trunks of the cars and under blankets, so you didn't have to pay for everybody. And one of the first things we went and saw together was The Exorcist. It was awful. Susie was there. She might have been in the back seat and we were in the front seat. And one of our friends came during a real scary part and pounded on the door, and she lost it. She was ready to jump out of the car and run home. This is a wedding breakfast picture. I tried to get her to look at the camera, and she wouldn't. So I had to pry her face to the camera. And look how pretty she is. She's just a babylicious. She would have been my maid of honor, but my mother wouldn't let her be the maid of honor. She wanted my sister to be the maid of honor, which she wasn't. Susie should be next to me, but my sister isn't next to me. But there's Susie and Cindy. They didn't like their dresses. They didn't like the fabric I picked, but isn't that cute? She's so cute. This is our first trip we took together. And that's the only picture I have of Susie. And this was at Lake Tahoe. Oh no, that's Mirror Lake. This is Mirror Lake. This is Lake Tahoe. This is the Ponderosa at Lake Tahoe. In the Lake Tahoe trip, I couldn't find the pictures, but they had a hangman's noose at the Bonanza at the Ponderosa. It's a ranch they had where they filmed Bonanza. And all of us got up and put our kids in the hangman's noose. I could not believe it. It was awful. I still have nightmares over that. I'm like, why would you put your children? But we all did it. It was terrible.
I think there's a...
It was terrible. It was a hard trip because I was nursing Annie and she was a year old and she almost bit my nipple off. And it was the most painful, excruciating thing. And I couldn't stand her to nurse again. It was like hanging there. And we ace bandaged it and neosporined it. And I was just, it was like cold turkey quitting. Oh, I'm engorged. And no, she helped me through it. No, if Susie wasn't there, I would have died. We took trips together.
Here's our stewardess. Where's our peanuts and
Our peanuts? This group headed to it.
On this beach, this is the Ka'anapali Beach on Maui. We're out in the ocean, Mark, Susie, and I. Mark Mathison is on the beach. There's a woman, topless, in a lounge chair that has the slats. And her boobs are hanging through the slats. She's old. They're almost in the sand, right? And Mark got out of the ocean. Mark Mathison got out of the ocean to go get a drink or something, or go get Susie something, because he was always running for Susie to go get some. And he saw the woman and tripped. And we're all in the ocean dying. It was the funniest thing. We've teased him about it for our whole life. Went up in a helicopter. We went out to Molokini, which was a little island that you could dive at, and that's us going out to Molokini. And Mark blew out his eardrum at that place. He wanted me to take a picture of him all the way at the bottom, and he dove down 30 feet without going slow. Most of the pictures that I took of her, just, you know, trying to get a good picture of Susie, she'd flip me off in. Oh, here's how Susie always took pictures with me. This is our friend Carolyn, who did our hair. Carolyn Cupford. So Susie always did this whenever I went to take a picture of her. That's Carolyn with Susie again. I just love these pictures.
Explain what it is.
this is our room. Every night we come home. Here is what we get. A mint on the pillow. Don't you wish it was you? Now it's nighttime, so we don't have a very lovely view. Here is our window. It's ocean out there. Nothing but ocean. Okay.
Gotta get the bathroom. Yeah. Let's flush the toilet.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Shower.
Here's the lovely bathroom.
Wait a second. There's our
Don't come too close because it'll suck you down.
Okay.
Right? You guys, yeah, you
we
guys.
didn't have condoms. We
No.
never used condoms.
No, you guys gave my mom and dad a condom.
Defective condom?
And that's how I was born. Or became.
Oh my god.
You guys are responsible for me. They were told to not have a baby after Amelia.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And then you guys gave him a condom
I do not.
on the
even-
cruise as like a gag
So
joke.
she knows a story I don't remember. As a gag gift, and then it had a hole in
I
it.
would remember that, but I don't.
Well, we were pretty crazy. We probably did. We probably got it in some terrible town down there or something. No, I remember her saying, I think I got pregnant on the cruise. And I'm like, well, you spent a lot of time in the cabin. Yeah, but no, I wouldn't. I would say yeah, because yeah, she got pregnant on the cruise. It was fun. But yeah, the condom, I do not remember, but that's hilarious if we gave it to him. We probably found it somewhere on some weird little island. I know she's still laughing at us.
The earliest memory I have of Sue, I think it was probably the earliest, was we did something for it had to have been, I'm assuming, a Sunday school class, because Missy was there, Sue was there. We went to Hygeia swimming. They also had the ice rink, but we went swimming. I don't remember any boy that was there. I don't remember Mike or Ron.
But you remember Susie.
But I remember Susie and Missy were both there. That's the earliest memory I have. We just were swimming at Hygeia.
Up at youth conference in Logan. Mark and I were there, and Dell and Susie. Dell is Mark's little brother.
Yeah.
And Dell is always kind of had a crush on Susie. And Susie didn't really love Dell, but he was in the group and she was in the group, and he was a year younger than her, but he always had a crush on Susie, and he'd follow her around. And we went to a movie up there, and I was sitting next to Mark, and Susie's next to me, and she's like this on top of me. She's like this because Dell's on her other side. She's just leaning into me. And I'm like, what are you doing? And she goes, Dell keeps rubbing my elbow. And it was killing her.
That was
It
before
was
Mark
so
came into the
funny.
picture.
It was before Mark. It was before. Yeah. Dell wouldn't have done it after
Before the
Mark was
computer
around.
day.
Yeah.
That would have been early on.
It was early on. It was.
Dell would have been probably the youngest one that could have gone to youth conference.
It's just Dell. He's awkward. He's still awkward. Most summer we would just sleep outside. I had a patio and lounge chairs, and I'd leave my stuff out, and they wouldn't be able to tell if I was there. And most of the time I was at Dietz's. I wasn't there a lot, and it was easy to be at Susie's house, you know. And they were not kind enough to let me be there. They knew it was hard for me. It's one of the things that killed me with your grandpa this year, is he told me he was proud of me. You know.
Tom knew a lot of what was going on.
He did. And it killed me. I'm not kidding. It wiped me out. But I love him for that. It was hard. But I really don't think I'd be here if I didn't have Susie and the Dietzes and Ned.
Hi. Oh, there she is.
No.
So I'm laying there.
Oh yeah, I saw it.
it was nice having it. I had extra dads, you know, I had people that loved me, and it was awesome. So, Dietz's and Mathisons
Tom was one of them.
are just in my heart.
Yeah.
One of the things that I really didn't want to do and was so apprehensive is we had a group of handicapped kids come to the ward, and we had to give them an activity, and we thought that we would dance and feed them and play games with them. But I was Laurel class president and I had to do stuff. My bishop made me do these things. It was one of the things that Ned did, and I remember that being one of the greatest things we ever did. And Susie was so good. She's kind, she's good, she knows how to be good. And I loved watching her. I learned a lot that night of how good she was. She was just kind, and we had to feed these kids. They were like paraplegic. So we're putting food in their mouth. And she was just really, it was fun. Because we were both there to support each other. And we got through it, and it was fabulous. And I thought it was going to be awful. And just from that one night, you know, and I mean, that's a long time ago, but like when my daughter got the opportunity to go be in special needs, she loved it because of what I had told her of how fun we had that night, where you just lose yourself in service. And it was fun. It was really, really good. But anytime I was in trouble or feeling bad, I called her and she helped. You know, everybody goes through hard things and hard times, and she was fabulous. She just made me feel better, always.
Susie's there, and Mark's probably there a lot of the time we went toilet papering.
Yeah.
But we went toilet papering because it was their birthday.
A
We
friend's
didn't
birthday
go toilet paper.
to be
We
delicious.
started, but that went away really quick, and we just started toilet papering for birthdays. So all these friends that we have, we get together there that night. We toilet paper their house.
The
Their
morning
house.
we'd go clean it up.
Ned Combs was the bishop at the time, and one of the times we went and toilet papered his house. That got in the Deseret News.
It was polka dotted. It wasn't toilet paper.
Yeah,
We put polka
it was
dots all over his
polka
house.
And then one time when we did,
It was Missy's birthday.
It was Miss. We went toilet papering and talked him into going, and he went.
And he was so scared he was gonna get arrested
was
because
sure
he
he
was
was.
the adult.
Because if they caught us, they would arrest him because he was the adult, and he was the bishop.
And Missy's mom and dad watched the whole thing because they were sleeping in their camper that night. We'd go up Mill Creek Canyon and have weenie roasts. It was fun. Mill Creek was one of our spots. We loved Mill Creek. We went to the firesides together. Ned had firesides once a month, and his wife was the greatest cook in the world, and she would make layer cakes that were this big. And so she'd divide them up so they fed everybody. There were, 20 kids there at least. And we got this delicious cake.
We spent so much time in a large group. It wasn't, you got two friends, and so that becomes this group.
We invited everybody,
there-
and everybody didn't come every time, but everybody knew
There's-
they were welcome every time.
There's 20 people, and if not more,
Yeah.
that we'd have as a group. It really was us and Mark and Sue.
I think we were the core.
Yeah,
We were the glue.
yeah.
Hi. Susie.
I could not believe it was Susie because she was all over Mark, and Mark was all over her, and I you told me you really like this guy, and all of a sudden you're in love. And she's like, yep. And she knew it after she had talked to him for a few times on the phone. And then I was just so amazed. Didn't I tell you? I cannot believe this.
How fast it went.
It was instant.
It went 0 to 100. Really
It was
quick.
instant. And
It was 3.2 seconds. Ever?
no, if we didn't
I
get
don't
along
think
with Mark,
between
we
all
would
of
have
it.
gone, ooh, but we
But
loved
again,
him.
but it's Mark.
What's not to love?
Okay, that's good.
Hey, Murphy.
He's as easy as you can get to like. Period.
And we called
just
them
is.
the Marks.
There's Mark taking pictures.
Oh, what's that?
You mean Bonzo? Huh? There we go.
He'd come to church with her, and
No, we loved him.
he was always around.
We still love him.
The way he fit in with everything and the way it worked, it was more as though he lived in the ward.
No, he
And
just,
that just flowed in.
it was like he was always there.
Yeah. I mean,
He belonged.
it wasn't anybody looking and wondering, where's he coming from?
No, we loved him.
He rolled right into it. And like his personality, who's going to hold anything against him?
Nobody.
You can't.
They just matched.
No, they
They
did.
were a very good match. They were good to each other. Still, just always.
Okay, we're going home. Bye.
Say aloha.
Aloha. Bye.
He just was. He was just part of the group. He just lived somewhere else instead of right in the neighborhood, which made it harder for him.
But not.
But he
wasn't
always
that
did.
Far away.
No, but he always did.
He's amazing.
He fell in
He's amazing.
to the group, and it
We
just,
love Mark.
yeah, it was just great. They fit together. They were always together.
They were.
I mean, because it just was.
He had a brother named Ross that had a really cool car. It was a yellow Firebird. Mark did. We were all making out like crazy in the car, and it was so funny. It was so funny.
Why?
I ended up getting a hole in my lip from his tooth. I still have a scar.
I don't
I
remember.
said, a hole from getting kissed so hard, I guess.
So
It
you
was
guys made
just
out.
weird because we did it together instead of two of us somewhere alone together. There were four of us making out in the car. One of our favorite places was Five Alls, and it became Susie and Mark's favorite place too, and we doubled there all the time. And Five Alls was kind of expensive. It was pricey back then for little kids too. It still is, and it's still there, and it's still exactly the same food. It's so weird. But Susie and I decided once that we were going to recreate the meal at Dietz's, and
For some dance or for something. It was something.
the parents left us alone. The siblings left us alone, and we pretty much had the kitchen and the dining room for the night, and it was really fun. Susie and I figured out the clam dip and the breadsticks and the salad. We even made the salad in the teeny bowls that they had, and homemade dressing, and we made fillets, and we tried to do everything the same as Five Alls, and we thought we were so cool because we did it. It turned out really good. The scariest time with Susie that I can remember is when she had Amelia, when she almost bled to death, and it was so scary. And when I saw Amelia, she was the tiniest thing I'd ever seen. 4 pounds, you know, like, how's she gonna live? And, you know, Susie had tried to feed her, and it was hilarious, you know, after she got her home, and she'd pump and all the stuff to get her there, but then she'd get her home, and here's this baby with this mouth this big, and Susie's nipple this big, trying to feed this baby, and it was just, she's a great mother. It was her best thing, if you ask me. She was a good mother. When she told me she was pregnant with you, I said no.
That's probably why you guys
No.
never heard about the condom.
No, it's true. No,
It's
you
true.
can't have another baby, no. But I'm
No.
glad you're here. My favorite things in this house are from Susie. Most of my Christmas decorations are from Susie. because she knew what I loved. This is one of my little collections that Susie gave me, and these are Boyd's bears, and I love them because they're just Susie. From Susie, and this is another little.
All
group
of
right
these?
here. These are all Boyd's bears. It's
All from
they're
my
like
mom.
yes, they're like little collector items, and she got me a Boyd's bear for a lot of years, and I love them. Friendship will always be in season. That's from Susie. I still love it. That one's from Susie, and that one on the right. Those two are from her, and I love those. They'll always be there. Over the top, but so what? It's fabulous, and she made you guys beautiful, wonderful girls, and cute David. It was a pleasure. You're all crazy. You're all silly, which I love.
I totally see her face, and you.
Isn't she beautiful?
I
I know.
totally,
It's Susie.
100%.
I know.
See Susie sitting there.
I see it.
When I
in
went
all
back
of them.
and I see the earlier pictures, and it's like I'm looking at her,
Yeah,
when she was in high school.
I love it.
I'm looking at her.
Beautiful
Yeah.
girl. I always thought she was exotic. I think that's why I was drawn to her, is she was exotic. And I was so, plain Jane, pale, and she was dark and exotic. I think that's why I was drawn to her. She's her big, long, beautiful hair and her big, beautiful eyes and her beautiful skin. I just thought Susie was exotic. And so are you guys. You're all exotic to me. Mathison's Dietz is kind of a good mix too, because it didn't smother. It was a good mix. Big, beautiful eyes, big, the pretty skin. It was a good mix. Mathison babies look like Dietz babies. Every time one of us got pregnant, we were so excited, and we were the first person, probably one of the first people that knew. We loved our kids. We loved getting our kids. I mean, I got pregnant a month after we got married. We were into having the babies, and our kids even, I think Sarah and Jason and Tim and Jenny double dated.
Susie wasn't quiet, and you know that. And she was always happy. She was always.
She was.
When we were around them, there was always that. Susie wasn't one that was falling apart because this wasn't working in life, or falling apart because that wasn't working in life.
Yeah.
She was doing just fine. When I'm around her, when I was around her, she was just fine, and she was enjoying life.
And Mark and her are good together. Just good.
I think they bounced off each other well.
Yeah.
They worked together well.
Mark,
What do you want?
where are we?
We're at Disneyland.
We never get to see you on the camera.
I know, that's good. We don't want it.
I should have recorded you snoring a few minutes ago.
I'm good at snoring, yes.
You're the king of snore. Huh?
But we worked together well too, which worked. If it wouldn't have worked if Mark didn't love Sue and Mark didn't love Mark and Mark didn't love me. We all loved each other, and it was just fun. It was a good support system. It was good. The first house he showed you was 2 blocks away from our first house. They came to that neighborhood to be close to us, and it killed us when they left. 10,000 South didn't used to go through. It was a dead end at some railroad tracks, and we swore that they continued 10,000 into Shields Lane for Susie and I, so that we could get to each other fast, and it was perfect. I know she'd want us all to be happy and just remember the fun things and not the sad things, just to have fun together and appreciate each other, because that's what she did. She loved everybody, made everybody feel so loved and welcome.
Find your way to enjoy life.
Yeah. She, like I say, I needed her, and I think she needed me. Don't want to cry. I still need her, obviously, like we all do. She was the greatest. She was fun. She was irreverent. She was crazy, and we fit. And there was nothing I didn't love about her. I loved everything about her. We just got along, and girls don't do that. Especially when you come up with a different girlfriend and you lose her and you think, oh my gosh, I'm never gonna have another friend like that. And I found one that was so much better. And it was really fun. I feel so blessed to have had her. She was my everything. I still go to call her, which is so stupid and so weird, but I think, oh, I gotta call Susie, what? And then I think, she's still there. She is still there. She's watching. I know that she's with you guys all the time. I know she is. I can guarantee you, she's your angel now. She's your guardian angel, and she probably, I know she had a lot of influence in the grandkids' life anyway, but I bet you she will have so much influence over them from above. She will guard them, she will love them, and she will help them.
I walk down memory lane, 'cause I love running into you. How are you? I'm doing great, and I have you back for a few. I just love the idea when I see you in my head, while I keep walking down this road, 'cause it's all that I have left of you. No, there's nothing left for us to do here on earth, so all our memories are my all-time favorite movie. The older that I get, the more I can't let you go yet. Every birthday and holiday, wish you were here to celebrate. So I walk down memory lane, 'cause it's the only place that you